Hey guys, thanks for watching Beyond Science 2, it's Mike Chen. Video games have been getting more and more popular each year, and this year is no exception. With popular new releases like Overwatch and Battlefield 1, gamers barely get to see the light of day anymore. Similar popular video games in the past also gained massive fans and players, but some were unfortunately banned in many countries due to a multitude of reasons. So here are the reasons these 8 video games are banned somewhere in the world. Number 1, Command & Conquer Generals. This is actually one of my favorite video games. I love the Command & Conquer series until they started to suck. Anyway, a lot of people know that China is really sensitive to a lot of things like movies, video games, anything really that depicts China in a bad light. So in February 2003, EA Games published Command & Conquer Generals, a real-time strategy game that you can choose to fight with one of 3 factions. In the game, there are 2 missions in the Chinese campaign, one that shows the 3 Gorgeous Dam and the other depicting the Hong Kong Convention and Exhibition Center. Both of these structures are very important to China, so when you destroy them, even in a video game, that country is going to be upset. So China, of course, was offended and decided to ban the general series of the game altogether. They thought that China's reputation would be seen in a bad light, and also didn't like that terrorists were attacking their country and destroying their infrastructure. Number 2, the Grand Theft Auto series. We've all heard of GTA. GTA is an open-world action-adventure video game series that has sparked fury and confusion in many countries, including Brazil, Kuwait, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Thailand, and the UAE after it was first released in October of 1997. I mean, we've all heard of the series, most of us have played this. It pretty much breaks all of society's rules. It's no surprise that it's banned in so many places. While most countries banned the game for its violence and profanity, Brazil actually banned it for using the music of a Brazilian composer without the right authorization. Also, the San Andreas game was banned in Indonesia because the main character was dancing with no pants on. And that same title was restricted in the US because of a secret game that involved, let's just say, mature content. Number 3, Menhunt 1 and 2. Most games nowadays contain violence of some sort, but this game really pushes the envelope. Menhunt is a stealth-based horror game that was released in November of 2003. The goal of the game is to control a prisoner and help him escape from an asylum by killing everyone in his path. The killings are shown in extreme, brutal, and grotesque manner, and there is so much graphic violence that the game series has been banned in Germany, Ireland, Malaysia, New Zealand, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and the UK. The game actually encourages brutality by offering 3 levels of intensity. And the more brutal the killing, the more rewards one gets at the end of each level. Number 4, Battlefield 4. Published by EA Games in 2013, this first-person shooter game is currently banned in both Pakistan and China because it shows Pakistani and Chinese armed forces as the bad guys in the game. Both countries were offended by the game and how it was ruining their country's reputation and national image. They also said that the game posed as a threat to national security and is a form of cultural invasion. China's Ministry of Culture also issued a notice banning all materials related to the game and the word 战地4, the Chinese translation for Battlefield 4, on the country's biggest social media platform, Weibo. And in Pakistan, if you're caught selling or even playing this game, you could go to prison. Number 5, a classic. I love this game so much, Wolfenstein 3D. This game, created in 1992, was arguably the granddaddy of all first-person shooters, and the game was banned in Germany because, of course, the player travels through multiple layers of dungeons, killing Nazis, and eventually killing Hitler himself. This game also shows the swastika symbol everywhere, which is forbidden for anything other than educational purposes in Germany. Number 6, Homefront. Homefront is a first-person shooter game released in 2011 where players are members of a resistance that's defending the US, and the enemies are the North Koreans. The game is, of course, banned in North Korea. Actually, I think all games are banned in North Korea. All games, all fun. But this game was also banned in South Korea in order to prevent trouble from its northern neighbors. As we all know, the North-South Korea relationship is very tense, and the South Koreans didn't want the game to spark any real wars or fights between them. Despite the South Korean government trying to block this game in South Korea, it just became really popular on the black market despite a fine that was imposed if you were caught selling it. Number 7, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Also, one of my favorites. This game is a first-person shooter released in 2012 and is the first game in the franchise to feature future warfare technology. This game was banned in Pakistan because the government believes it portrays the country in a negative light. The game portrays Pakistan and its intelligence agency as supporters of Al-Qaeda and jihadi organizations, which the country says is not true. So here are 7 video games that are banned around the world. Is it bad that some of these games are like some of my favorites of all time? I mean, Wolfenstein 3D, I think I spent weeks on that game. You guys ever done this? Try to find every single little hidden spot, collect every single treasure item, find all the lost levels. That game was a classic, one of the funnest games I've ever played. Also, Command & Conquer. I loved Command & Conquer so much. I think the Red Alert series, that was the best out of that whole franchise. I can't remember when that series really started to go bad. I think it's when they introduced the aliens. And if you're wondering, now I'm really into games like Elder Scroll RPG games. Love those. But let me know, guys, how many of these banned video games have you played and what's your favorite video game at this moment? Thank you all so much for watching this video. See ya.